BA next year.
The day when Jordati Zidane returned. Gypsy might be getting close. One more time. Man United became the first stop mentioned. Ready to cover the red carpet? Even though the season has just begun, Erik ten Hag's hot chair, it's getting shaky and unstable. Is trust in the wrong place? Sergio Granit and Ineos are slowly finding the answer. And if the answer is right, it's been packed away from Old Trafford. It will officially happen. Manchester fans need a great name, a guarantee of success, not a candidate. Just heard a name that brought laughter like Carrick Southgate, or filled with skepticism like Graham Potter. Zidane becomes the dream choice for the Red Devils. If they discard the H name, Gigi has long been rumored in the press about the possibility of replacing at Old Trafford. After the end of last season, the seat of the Dutch professional strategist the hot hand of Man United's leadership. After having internal meetings, I've been busy scheduling appointments, talk to potential targets, but after no name Sergin liked. And Boso decided to put his faith at risk into Erik at singing FA Cup after victory over Man City in the final as a turning point to save Master 10. That victory gave the Red Devils leadership more trust. Little left. Will be able to move forward under the guidance of Erik. But that belief seems to be going astray. The first 3 rounds of the new season, Man United lost 2 games. You get 3 points, and is currently diving in 14th place on the charts. The extra bow always kept pointing straight at the black guy. After your future 10, when the axe swayed, it was mentioned again. After 3 years of retirement, the French legend ready to go back to training? When I went to a practice session at Ramatic recently. Since leaving Real Madrid in May 2000, since then, until now, Zidane is not going to lead any more teams. Outside Manchester, United are also said to have had contact with even this summer. National teams like the United States, Brazil or Angeli also enthusiastically dragged the champion. Frank matures in the head coach. But since then, until now, they still refuse to accept anyone. Maybe the French legend waiting for a moment that's really ripe. When asked about the possibility of returning with Zidane, a training did not hide his wishes. Why not? Anything can happen. Now I'm doing other things, but let's wait and see. I'd love to get back to coaching. It's not the first time that Zidane is linked with Manchester, but this will be a very different time with many changes. First and most important, the story of the superstructure. It's being solved by the Red Devil. Somehow okay. Sozum signs Old Trafford CEO Oma Bayata from Man City. He is considered an architect behind Pep Guardiola's success at 80. And there's the Aswood sports director, who laid the groundwork for your football for the last 8 years. He was also persuaded to move to Old Trafford from Newcastle. These people have coordinated in a very coordinated way. United meet change on the transfer market. This summer, I saw a Red Devil no more getting involved in business, pushed prices to crazy levels in the opposite direction. Statistics have also been recorded. Collected 100 million in selling players, a 6th century of the club over the years. All these moves show the Red Devil they're really doing football. Take the title as a measure of success instead of a commercial football team, as many years have passed. Meanwhile, the attractiveness and reputation of Manchester's it's still one of those places. That's a lot of names. I want a challenge. No more stories from a year ago. This time Zidane will be fully supported. If you agree to lead Man United, conditions that Gigi once mentioned about a team he'd like to sit in the hot seat. It's a solid foundation. After so many living years under the rotten roof of the Kraser house, the Red Devils have begun to change quickly. What are you afraid of that you can do? Just over a year ago. It's remarkable. Hot seat at the Chamford stage. It will be for G, even if the other guy is officially pushed off the street. Experts initially predicted the 51-year-old legend will take over the chair of training, the other charm at the French national team. It's also the original goal of Gigi. French Football Federation continues to give confidence the national war veteran. Real Madrid changed their plans. A coach. 3 consecutive years of winning the Champions League. I sat in the water for a few years. There must be a plan behind it. Very meticulous and thorough calculation. Last November, Zidane told the LQF as follows about a destination that suits me. When I was a player, I can choose almost any club. And as a coach, there aren't many clubs I can go to. Only 2 or BA potential destinations. And if I go back to leading a club, that team needs to have enough potential to win every tournament. I say this humbly. That's why I can't go anywhere. Zidane is a special case of the village. In his first professional season, step into the training career, Gigi won the Champions League for real. In just 3 short years, Zidane has overcome even monuments like on the number of Champions League titles. This achievement is not just luck or thanks to the built-in Aseo. It's also a testament to leadership and his ability to combine teams. Zidane proved that in a team as big as Real, the management of the dressing room and maximize the potential of each individual. It's even more important, the imposition of a certain philosophy of football. Previous decision on top of Zidane. It has surprised many people, but it showed. He's a man of honor. Always put the interests of the team first. Successor coaches like Julian Lopetegui, none of them could sustain success. Zidane had to come back to save the situation. Traces of the strategy of travel. They can't bring in deep perspectives for the fans, in part because he's only been around for 4 years. He showed up as a head coach. They all admire Zidane for his psychological warfare. It's more of a puzzle. Everything has been clearly proven. 6th century Champions League. Someone introduced the version, Holy Shrimp Pasta by Cristiano Ronaldo. Convicted CR7. Reserve corn in some games in La Liga. Let's focus on the Champions League. That's what not AI can do. Zidane Manchester United. Can it bear fruit in the future or not? It depends on a lot of factors. It's one of the equally important barriers. It's a foreign language issue. This is the revelation of the hermitage accepting itself. Photo teams. For other reasons, I can't go everywhere. For example, language. Some certain conditions. It makes things more difficult. When people talk to me, do you want to go to Manchester? I'll have to consider it carefully. I know a little English, but not quite as proficient. I know that. There are coaches coming to the clubs without speaking the language in that country. But I work in a different way. To win, there are many factors. And I know what I need to do to win. Manchester has entered the transfer of £1 billion to the but in return, it's a picture of 7 possibilities. Masters football strategy. It's 10. Becoming more and more illusory. If the Red Devils don't succeed on the pitch, 2 Carabao Cups and FA Cup, they can't meet the high expectations from the fans and the leadership. Man United could not play BBA all season, and we're all in the final at the end of the season. In arenas like the FA, Carabao to feed hope of salvation. Maybe it's time for Zinedine Zidane to come back.